Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between, welcome to the comedy extravaganza that is The Adventures of E. Strap yourselves in because in this podcast we dive into hilarious personal stories, mishaps, and everyday life. From the awkward encounters at the grocery store to trying to adult in a world that seems determined to trip us up at every turn. So whether you're listening during your commute or just kicking back with a cup of coffee, get ready to laugh until your sides hurt. Here's your host, Elissa.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody in between. My name is Elissa, and thank you for coming back for another week of The Adventures of E. Along with me today, I have...
the producer, Jason.
And we have...
the favorite child.
Oh my gosh.
Jeremiah.
I should have known he was going to do that.
There's the sign.
Oh, I forgot
There's
to bring
the
my
sign.
certificate. I was going to bring it with me.
I know.
I didn't.
You need to give a shout out to your coworker that made that certificate for you.
I will do that.
Yeah. Well, go right ahead.
Like right now?
I wonder if she'd be okay with it, though.
Well,
I think so. I think that she would be fine with.
yeah.
Because she's friended me.
Yeah. She's messaged us on Facebook.
Yeah, so I feel like it's okay.
Yeah.
What up, Jamie?
See? There we go.
I actually told her that certificate just made my year. I was like, that was the highlight of my year.
Right.
Like, it just made my whole... And she was like, I'll give you the app. And I was like, no, I appreciate that, but you don't understand. No, you don't understand.
You need to make it for me now.
Oh, yeah. Maybe we will.
Yeah.
Employee of the month.
No, that's Mac.
He
That's
does
Mac.
have a certificate on our refrigerator that is employee of the month.
He does.
Being a potato.
Yeah.
A potato wedge.
So, last time you were on, Jeremiah, you had injured yourself, and you were getting ready to have surgery before too long, and you've had said surgery since then.
Yes.
So, did you follow said doctor's orders after surgery for recovery? I guess give me the skinny as far as
damn.
your
Shots
timing,
fired.
Pushing to go back to work.
He just straight up kicked you under the bus and was like, boom, boom.
He says he's the favorite child, so, he's got to earn it. Look out.
Didn't think you'd call me out.
Yeah.
All right, so, yes,
Yes.
for the 2 weeks after surgery. And then I thought I would be good to go back to work. And I mean, it's just crutches. It's going in and out of work and sitting down on my butt all day. I didn't have to go on the floor in the factory or nothing, so I thought I'd be all right.
It'll be fine. Shit'll buff out.
I did it for just over a week.
Yeah.
Didn't start working out very well.
No.
No.
That parking lot's a lot bigger than it looks.
And apparently, last time I remember being on crutches when I was like, I don't know, 16.
You remember it being easier?
Way different from being 40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As we get older, it sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah.
So other than that, now you are banned from work temporarily. You are no longer allowed to go to work. So you are now recovering.
I'm not allowed to go to work. They just convinced me to do the
right
better
thing,
thing.
and take some time
So
off.
they banned you. They were like, get the hell out of here. Go.
He says potato, you say potato.
I know.
Like,
He's trying to make it all like better. Like, oh no, they suggested that I go home.
Oh my God.
No, they looked at you and they were like, dude, go. Get the hell out of here.
they did too.
Yeah.
You know they did.
I mean, that's probably what it was behind the actual words. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they actually asked me the first day I got back. They saw me crutching with my backpack.
Crutching.
Okay.
They see me
Can
crutching. They hating.
Oh my God.
You're welcome. I'm so
What?
sorry.
All right. Okay. Yep. Crutching. That is the word of the
They
episode.
see me crutching.
Get out of my way when you see me in the hallway.
Oh,
Sorry, one of those.
that was E for effort, but it was no bueno.
Yeah, no bueno.
So, since we're just on a roll,
Yeah.
and
Roll
we're just
it.
calling him out.
Roll that stone, baby.
Roll that beautiful bean footage. Sir, how do you feel about being called out with me, Jason, Tom, Mike, and yourself?
Absolutely.
Are you going to come? Are you
Let's
going to
do
make
this.
it?
Yep.
And who are you in our Super Mario Kart situation?
Diddy Kong.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
We couldn't
Yep.
remember.
Yep,
we
that
couldn't
works.
remember.
That works. Yep. That will work.
That works out perfectly.
Yeah. Because one of my guys that works for me, he's Donkey Kong. So.
Wow, this is growing exponentially.
Oh, yeah.
And this is something you didn't even want to do. And when I even said it, you were like, ugh.
Mike, bro, he texted me today.
Oh, my gosh.
He texted me today. And
said what?
Well, he was talking about, trying to figure out his costume and character, since the character that he kind of wanted to do while Luigi was kind of already taken, right? Mm-hmm. By Tom. So now he's trying to figure out his character and how he wants to design his specific cart to match said character.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, why do you do this? I have a legitimate question. Time out. I know that the women will understand this. Why do I pose this idea that I want to do and it sounds amazing, even though it's a bad idea? And I understand that. And then he takes it after he has rebuked it for months and then finally accepts it in. And then I'm like, don't run from the Lord, sir. No, I'm sorry. I don't know why I just did that. But anyway, and then he's taken it. And like, here's the line. He's over there. He's in the next country. I don't even know where that is right now. Mexico?
I mean, Super Mario World. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at.
He done finished the Rainbow Road and he's back. I mean.
And not when he grabs the... Oh, my God.
You're welcome.
That music gives me PTSD.
Yeah.
From like...
Yeah, sitting there and like cramping your hand. You're playing so hard. You're like, oh, my God, I got to go.
Okay, listen, this is how uncool I've always been on all my life. Like, I never had like video games or anything. My brother was 7 years older, so like he was already past that by the time I was at that age point. But my cousins did, right? And their mom, my aunt, she watched me when my mom was at work. Let me tell you what. I soaked up in every minute of that Atari with Paperboy I could. Mm-hmm. And Mario Brothers.
Yep.
Wow.
I played my heart out an entire day, and I couldn't wait until the next week.
Like, when can I come back, Mom?
That's
when can I come back?
How cool I was. Like,
my cousins are so awesome.
I didn't even own my first cassette tape until I was like 12. I'm like, I've always been way out.
I think I was dubbing cassettes off the radio at 12.
Probably. I was like way uncool and like way behind, but I lived in the middle of nowhere and I had no friends.
Yeah.
But the woods. Well, that sounds really weird, but
that's creepy. That's a little creepy.
But you know what I mean? Like, we lived in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Most of my life.
So hey, I am gonna circle back though. Like,
I'm sorry.
You're griping about, me taking it to the nth degree. You said you wanted to have a podcast. And I have built you a podcast. So you can explore and talk and expand and do whatever you want with your creative ideas. Because I support you, honey. 1,000%.
You let me know when you're done.
Yeah. I'll also let you know that Mike
1,000?
Yeah, 1,000%. Yeah, don't look at the equipment, buddy. It's fine. Nobody else needs to know about
that. So Jeremiah and I just had this conversation.
Nobody needs to know about that, okay?
We just had this conversation. And he said something, I don't know what even brought it up, but I was like, fucking Jason, getting packages all the damn time. He's like, what's he doing? And I was like,
building the studio.
Buying cameras. Doing studio shit. I don't know. I said, that room looks so different when you walk in there. Mm-hmm. I said, you're not, he was like, no way. And I was like, yeah. He goes, well, that's Jason. And I was like, no, I didn't know that was Jason.
You should. You've been married to me how long?
I didn't expect for you to be like, whoosh. Take it that far.
That's why I was making the reference to the deep end thing, jumping straight off.
I know. And then he came in this podcast studio and he was like, he even mentioned it like, damn, to me, you weren't kidding. Yeah. He was on my side.
And literally, he's on your side. Yeah. I'm flying solo because I'm the favorite child. It's fine.
I'll give it to you.
It's cool.
You're flying solo. Nobody likes you. No, I don't know.
Oh, thanks, honey.
I'm just kidding. I was
Love
just trying
you too.
I'm no Eminem, quite obviously. Okay.
So I will say, because I've been trying to get to what Mike had talked to me about, he actually came up with a really cool idea and suggestion.
What's that?
So he had listened, and you had talked about how excited you are for your magazine article coming out on Sunday, the 22nd of this month. And you had made mention of how wonderful this woman's voice was, the journalist that, you know, was talking to you and whatnot. He suggested we reach out to her and see if she would be interested in actually coming on the podcast. And here's the reason why. To find out what drove her to kind of find interest in the story, what kind of built it, and what led her down the path to create this.
That's actually a really good idea.
Yes.
And the reason I say that is because, like, don't get me wrong, I took journalism in high school. I'm a pro. No, I'm just kidding. But, like, I know you have to be nice to every subject of sorts. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
But she really was, I believe, truly, genuinely excited to write this article. And she was like, I just find these things so fascinating and so interesting in human behavior and, like, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And she was genuinely excited to write this story. And I really think the only reason this story is probably getting written, I can't talk, is because of how enthusiastic she is / was.
Right.
Also, because of her enthusiasm, she let me know that another magazine will be reaching out to me to possibly write a secondary article in that umbrella of Under the UK Sun family.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, I would love to ask her that because that's interesting that, you know, people are interested in my life. Like,
yeah.
It is interesting, I think.
It's different.
What sparked it?
Yeah, it's something you're not used to.
Right.
You know, it's something that as you're growing and expanding, you know, with this art form and creativity, and it's opening things up. It's opening doorways. And yeah, kudos to Mike for sure on
it was
suggesting
a good one, Mike.
that, because I hadn't even thought about that.
I hadn't either, but I had, like, that question has popped in my mind, like, while I was talking to her and how excited she got.
What drove you to do this?
Well, because she was going to write another article. She kind of let me in, because she got one of our names wrong, and it was because it was also started with, it was another J name. And she was like, I'm so sorry, I'll fix that. She was like, I'm actually writing another article about, I want to say.
Now, can you share this information?
I believe so.
Okay.
This is very vague.
Oh, okay.
But well, not, but it is. I don't have any identifying factors.
Gotcha.
A mother had given up her, I'm pretty sure that's what she said, her uterus so her daughter could have and carry her own child.
Oh, like transplant?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure. So, like, my life is here. And that's really fucking cool. And that's up here. And you're going to write about me too. So I kind of feel like, hi.
I see that.
Yeah. You know, so it was just an interesting feeling.
Right.
So
yeah, I think after we see the article and everything comes out, and we can kind of celebrate the win, I think maybe we, you know, try and set something up with her at some point in time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and she's
see if
very
she'd be
nice.
Interested in doing it to kind of dive into it, and we can kind of interview her on it.
Yeah, I told her, I said, you need to do audiobooks, ma'am. I said, I'm not trying to be, this is why I can't have anything nice. I was like, I'm not trying to be creepy, but you have the best, most soothingest, you know, British voice I've ever heard, and I love it. And she was like, oh, Ilsa, thank you. And it obviously sounded way better than that. But
horrible impersonation, yeah.
Shut up, Jason. God. This comes from the man that every time somebody I work with is like, oh my God, your husband works in radio? Is he on the radio? And I'm like, no, he's not. He's in behind the scenes. Well, he should. His voice is so wonderful. And then they'll stop and they're like, yours is okay too. And I'm like, bro, I know what you're trying to say. I know that my voice is annoying. And I appreciate you still listening. And I know he has a dreamy radio voice. There's nothing I can do about it, man.
I'm sorry.
Oh, stop. Actually, the journalist who's writing the article actually made mention about how amazing your voice was. Swear to God. You can ask her yourself.
All right, we have to interview. Because, like, now I'm like, okay, why does everybody say that? Like, I don't think that. Like, I don't think my voice has any kind of special characteristics to it. I'm just sitting here talking.
The moment I heard your voice on a device, I was like, why aren't you on the radio?
Exactly. Everybody says that.
I mean, not everyone can be a radio host or an announcer or a commentary. Like, there are some people try, and you've listened to some of the people where you're like, oh my God, I can't listen to this anymore.
Yeah. And I feel like I have one of those voices that does concern me at times.
I don't think you do.
No, I truly do feel like that. And you know how people say, like, Jason has a voice for radio? I have the face for radio.
Well, I work in radio, so I clearly have the face for radio. But
Stop
anyways.
it. I just thought it was funny.
But no, like, I find that interesting because, like, I enjoy your voice and being in media and whatnot, listening to podcasts and listening to ads and listening to, DJs and all kinds of things. Like, I hear so many different voices, and I don't, like, there are very few that I truly find annoying, like the ones that just kind of are shrill and it's a struggle to listen to. Yours is definitely not one of those.
No, I think my struggle, I appreciate that. I don't agree necessarily. But what I was going to say is I think my biggest issue is I get to laughing or I get really into it and I get too close to the mic or too far away and then I have the worst freaking laugh in the world.
No. It's a great laugh. Yeah.
I mean, it's out of control. But my point of it is it's loud and it's obnoxious. My mom calls me obnoxious.
But see, that's the thing. Like, as time goes on and you learn, the distances and whatnot, like, as you start to laugh, like, you'll notice me back up a little bit, when you get louder.
Because you're so professional.
No, it's just learned behavior.
So let me tell you, as a avid listener, and
speaking of,
yeah, feel free to slide it closer to you.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. There was no need for that.
Not because I'm a friend either, but when I'm listening, you're talking about when you get loud or start laughing. To me, it's always at a right spot where, I don't notice if it does sound that way. I don't ever notice it because I'm probably already laughing.
Well, and you're also in my life in real life, and you already know what to expect.
That's fair.
Yeah, I feel like that's fair. But I do appreciate that. That's very nice of you.
And the other thing to keep in mind, too, is I do a lot of post-production work. I've got custom EQs set for your voice, for my voice, for our guest voice. Like, I tweak these things in post-production to make sure that the levels balance out. So it's not overly bearish with a high pitch or a low pitch or, whatever it is, distortion. So I do those things in post to make sure that it sounds clean. So that's, I don't think it sounds bad. You're used to hearing it in your headphones.
Yes.
And you hear that and you're like, ooh, I don't like that.
I feel like I sound like a 12-year-old.
I don't think so.
And realistically, if you think about it, coming from a friend that really cares, if I'm listening to something you guys are doing and I think it's embarrassing, like, I'll be embarrassed for you even though no one's even around because I don't want someone to think any differently of you than awesome. And I've never come across any moment like that ever.
Oh, well, that is very nice. And I appreciate that because I've had some moments that were like, maybe I went a little too far, but it is what it is.
And we would expect our friends to tell us, hey, you probably shouldn't have said that or you suck.
Yeah. Oh,
we would expect that.
For sure. And let's be honest, not just Jeremiah, but Tom.
Yeah.
All of them, Mike, everybody would be like, bro.
Oh, yeah. I feel like all of us would be honest.
To you or me and be like, this is awful.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to quit. You've got to figure this out. Like, stop it now.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Tom has texted me before, like, early in the morning. Like, he'll be listening to an episode first thing in the morning, as he's starting work. And because he works from home. So he'll just kind of put headphones in and do work and whatnot. And he'll shoot me a text, and he'll be like, he's like, this episode doesn't sound so good, like with something off, with something like it's noticeable if it's not right, if it's not natural, if it's not comfortable.
Well, that's also something we've learned too since doing this.
Yeah, you can't force it. Like, yeah, we can prepare to an extent and kind of try and schedule things and whatnot, but you have to be fluid and have fun with it.
Yeah, so. I don't disagree.
So there might have been a couple episodes that I've listened to that maybe I thought was not like all sad or all like there was not a lot of upbeat stuff. So you guys created an entire episode of like one feeling pretty much the whole time. But you guys, I feel like have gotten better about bring it up and down because you jump around now, going to different stuff.
And that also has come with time because, like, you'll say something that we never even anticipated talking about, and I'll get on a tangent. That's who I am.
Yeah.
In everyday life, that's who I'm going to be. And, like, I've always said, like, I want to be 1,000% me all the time, even though that's hard sometimes. But you know what I mean? Like, so that's come with time, and that's become easier, which I feel like, in turn, makes the episode better because it flows.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it feels like... And like I said last week, I listen to my own podcast again because, like, sometimes it spurs different ideas or moments or stories or whatever. And there'll be times where I'm like, oof, Elissa, like, come on, get it the fuck together, like, or whatever. But, like, I'm trying to learn from all those. But I feel like what I was going to say, sorry, I forgot, but I came back. I'm here now.
Hey, we're good.
What I was going to say is I think as a listener, I feel like being in the car, people listening feel like they're involved in this conversation, even though they're not actually talking to us. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what I want. And that's what I've always wanted.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
I'll say it again. I said it last time I was on. Every time I listen, I want to grab my phone or like be the caller. No, it wasn't like that. You know, I'm like, oh, this was like 2 days ago.
Yeah, this has been recorded like shit. That's a week old.
Like, or if it's like coming home on second shift, I'd listen to a new episode and I'm like thinking about picking up the phone and calling you guys and talking about it. I'm like, oh wait, this was 2 days ago. And they're sleeping.
Yeah.
We listened to another podcast that has a similar format to callers who call in and they ask questions or whatever.
I have no problem tagging it. Like,
no, they're amazing. They're hilarious. It's called We're Here to Help.
Yep, we're here to help.
I think we've talked about it before on this.
Jake
on the
Johnson,
podcast.
Gareth Reynolds.
Yeah, they're hilarious.
Absolutely hilarious.
But so, like, they have a very interesting format like that. And even Mom has mentioned, Brenda's been like, you should do that. I'm like, we're going to try.
Yeah, we got to figure it out, the logistics of it, yeah.
So we're just not there yet. It was just like the whole video thing, you know, the first, 4 or 5 episodes, everybody was like, oh my God, we wish we could see your face. And I'm like, really? But they're like, your face makes the story.
Oh, it does.
And so, like, then we eventually got video. Like, that was something we were always working towards. But it took, our 20th episode? It took
yeah, I mean, we started,
20, I think.
Yeah, we kind of started doing testing, like episode 17, 18, where we would record it, but it wasn't something up to the quality that we wanted to put out. So we were kind of playing with some things and figuring some stuff out, but the first real release was episode 20. And now we've just kind of carried on from there, and I mean, this is good old episode 28, and we're just going to keep on plugging away. Like, we're getting to the point where I've got so much data, I had to build a second computer to store all this shit on. So
that's crazy.
I know.
I do actually want to give another shout out, though. Jamie had told me about another local podcast who I've since looked into, and it is really good.
Yeah.
They're actually, I believe, in Hartford, from Hartford, Indiana.
Hartford City?
Yeah, I believe so.
Hartford City.
Yeah, sorry. Which isn't very far from us at all.
It's about 15 minutes away
from us.
But
their podcast is called Gruesome, and it is true crime. Some of it's about Indiana true crime, like local things. But I was amazed at how many followers they had, and I was like, good for them, you know, because the whole podcast statistics thing. But Jason's like, listen, they've been doing this for like 4 years.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
the first episode was like back in 2020.
I was like, that's fair, because it is a slow growing thing.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
It takes time. It's organic. So, and just like when you build a friendship or build networking, you know, like when you go to a Chamber of Commerce meeting and meet different people and business owners and this and that, and you build those relationships over time. And it's essentially the same concept.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't happen overnight.
No.
So.
It's a relationship.
That's right. We have a relationship with our viewers and our listeners.
It's not creepy at all.
Hey, you said you wanted them to be a part of the conversation.
That's fair. That's fair. Fine.
I mean, so you're gonna have them be a part of the conversation about the time that I almost suffocated you with my balls.
Fair.
That is fair.
Yeah.
I do think.
See, I made it weird, but anyways.
It's fine. I'm used to it. Yeah. I make everything weird. I do think I need to tell that story over again with video.
Go right ahead.
I need to plan it. I don't want to do it today.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to do it now. But
definitely.
The anniversary is coming up.
Maybe when we're all here.
Ooh, yeah, that would be good when we've got all the...
Oh, yeah.
All the guys.
Yep. That'd be funny.
That's happening. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
I literally did.
So did Jeremiah. Oh, gross.
And then you just said he did. What
Ew.
the hell? Come on.
Sorry, I didn't understand what was happening.
You speed up a little bit here.
No,
Yeah, do it. Yeah, awkward.
That's not what I meant. Okay. Now it's real uncomfortable in here. He's petting Cletus, the unborn fetus.
Yep. Oh, the love sperm.
Why?
And without video, I wouldn't have got to see you put that on your head.
Yeah.
That's true. Because I died when you did that, and I was like...
And I was like, and that's why we have video.
Yep. That's exactly why we started doing video.
We can see that shit.
Things like that.
Oh, man.
She's a silly snake.
Silly snake. I can't do it right on the first time. I'm sorry. I can't right now. I'm not doing this on the spot. I'm done with you guys.
Yeah, okay. All right.
You guys made me ink. I'm on a roll with Nemo tonight, man.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't look at those notes because,
they're old as AF.
They're old.
Well, Jeremiah got to talk, and I got to talking in our own ADHD world over here about aliens.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Do tell.
Well, so we were just randomly talking. I don't even know how it even got started. Imagine that. But I was saying that my dad, growing up, was really into, like, I watched a lot of UFO documentaries and, like, crop circles and
Big X-Files fan.
No.
No, really?
No.
That's surprising.
He died, I think, before X-Files was a big thing, though. He died in 2000.
You were 14.
He died in 2000.
X-Files, I thought it had been out for a while.
Well, he never really watched it. But he did watch the documentaries.
Right.
He loved that, or we had to watch Westerns with John Wayne. It was terrible. Terrible. So anyway.
Some of those weren't bad.
Oof. But all the time. And then he would start to fall asleep. And, he was a snorer, let me tell you. And as soon as you would touch that remote.
I'm watching
What
that.
is that dad sense where you pop up? I'm awake. I was watching that.
Just my eyes.
I said, Dad, you were just snoring. No, I wasn't. He does that shit to me all the time. I wasn't snoring. I'm like, why would I fucking make that up? Why would I make that up?
Because you have a vendetta against me snoring. That's why.
I don't care. I lived with my dad. Like, he could saw some logs. Yeah. I'm telling you. So anyway, I was preconditioned for that. That was weird. I'm sorry. Anyway, we were talking about that. And then I said that you and I, Jason and I, got to talking about how, long time ago, about how the Egyptians made the pyramids. And I was like, come on, I'm not saying like aliens are real, but you can't tell me like they did that all on their own.
Like, yeah, there's
with
some...
their knowledge and technology at that point in time. And
yeah, there's just a lot that's questionable.
So I was telling him that. We were talking about that and about how, like, when they built all those pyramids and the tombs and everything, it was all built, by mapping the stars. And I was like, there's significance there. There has to be. Why would so much time and effort go into that if not?
Right.
So that's what we were talking about.
Yeah. And that is true. I mean, if you're going to tie physical structures to a star map, you're going to build said physical structures on a scale unknown to man up until that time, and it's done in a relatively short period of time for the labor force and technology potentially thought to be available at that point in time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just a lot of questions that...
There's a lot of weird things that are just sus.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, who knows? Who knows? We may never know.
The world may never know.
Yeah.
I don't think it was built by a bunch of regular people.
No? What do you think?
I think it was helped. I mean, that may have been the main force of labor, but the design, the cutting, the getting them in position.
The mathematics.
Yeah. because a lot of the pyramids that aren't breaking down, like all the blocks, the measurements they can take, each block is different.
Precisely, yes.
And has to go precisely in the place it was in for that structure to be perfect the way it is. Mm-hmm. And back when we were still pooping not inside of a toilet, you know what I mean? Like that far back, like I don't believe there was anybody that sat down and was like, well, to the square root of, and no, I don't believe that.
Yeah. Well, and some of the, some of the blocks are literally carved so precisely that you can't fit like a human hair in between them.
No.
You can't fit a sheet of paper in it.
Yeah. Like, it's crazy.
I'm obsessed with this topic. I have been forever.
Oh, yeah.
When I was a kid, I was obsessed with dinosaurs, and my 6th birthday cake had dinosaurs on it. I wanted to be an archaeologist. No shit. Like, legitimately. And so I am obsessed. And I've always been obsessed with, like, Greek mythology and Egyptian culture and all that. So one day, about a year or so ago, I was walking into work, and I was talking to one of the guys about this documentary I watched on Netflix, and he's like, about Egyptian culture, and he was like, yeah, I've been watching this weird obscure one, and I was like, what's the name of it? And he tells me, I was like, that's literally the one I was just watching. He was like, nuh-uh. I was like, yeah, I am a weirdo. I am a nerd.
Yeah,
it happens.
It's okay. I nerd out. Yeah, we watch those documentaries together.
I know, all the time.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm sorry, but I really want to watch this.
I'm like, all right, bet, let's go.
I find it interesting. Okay, so I was going to ask you both. I'm not going to ask you the normal, like, do you believe in the Loch Ness Monster and Bigfoot? I'm going to ask you some weirder ones.
All right.
Do you believe in, like, the creatures that live in the woods that people talk about? I don't know all the names, but, like, the things moving that look like trees and that kind of thing.
Are you talking like the Slender Man type thing?
No, I don't know. No, it's not along those lines, but like fairy creatures. You know what I'm... No? I'll have to Google what that is.
Are you talking of like an Ent from Lord of the Rings? Like
I don't know what that is.
A living tree?
Yeah. For lack of better words, yeah.
Are you asking if I feel like the flora and fauna, like it lives on a higher plane and can communicate, or?
Yes.
I mean, I think to an extent, yeah.
I would believe that.
Yeah?
I believe it's less on our planet, but I definitely believe from what we've seen here and how technically, I guess, primitive you could say we are, since we have not ventured beyond our own Earth very far. I believe that there are worlds that are way more advanced, probably, that everything's a network.
Well, not just that, but you have to look at other cultures that have been around a lot longer than we have. Like Native Americans believe in skinwalkers and those types of things. And then like the Aztec people believed in, their things. And I'm trying to think of the other ones. Like the Appalachian people. Appalachia. I don't know how to say that right. Don't come for me. I don't know. But they have a whole, like, folklore, I guess. And, like, that has to be rooted somewhere in some kind of a truth to have been around this long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I point out that we use, 5% of our brain, isn't it?
Yeah.
10%,
roughly.
something like that, 5%?
Yeah.
If someone could all of a sudden unlock 100% of their brain in 1 second, that person probably wouldn't live. We can't handle that.
Do you think they'd just hemorrhage and die? I'm just wondering.
Or become something else, or I don't know. I don't know. But I do believe that at some point, either we or something else was able to use, all of it.
Yeah.
And this is where we're at now. I don't know if we started over at some point, or if we were started fresh. I mean, whatever. But I definitely believe if we can only use 5%, and look what we've done with that amount of brain in a short time, as far as building aircraft and look all the advances.
Yeah, I do get what you're saying.
So just thinking about 50%, what would our world look like?
Or even 20.
Put us now on a different planet, however far away when we get there, and then come back in 100 years with 50% brain capacity. What would that world look like? like probably 1,000 times way past what this one is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I absolutely believe anything is possible.
Well, who's to say we're not a science experiment?
That's what we actually talked about.
Who's to say we're not a science experiment and we were put on this planet and its gravity and UV radiation and all this other stuff limits advancement to a specific time? Like you have to essentially genetically mutate and adapt and evolve over the generations to become more enlightened and become more capable and, and do these things. And it's like a test bed. We're almost like in a petri dish.
Or we were already an advanced civilization that had to spread out for survival, or just needed a spread out period, grew beyond their own world. And DNA was changed, manipulated to try to present a better thriving longevity
to fit more in the ecosystem here.
Right. And then, like, I don't know if you've seen all the stuff about the skeletons they've found throughout the day. Where I don't know what they're all called. There's a name for all of the different ages of people, where the skulls are like enlarged in the forehead, and
the frontal cortex or whatever.
Yeah, the bone structure's all different. Some resemble maybe an ape or a monkey, but they're all human, very human-like.
Yeah, humanoid.
So I believe that we were just changed over tens of thousands of years until they could get it to where we would mesh.
Yeah,
as much as possible.
Yeah, because the interesting thing is if you look at like primates and human evolution, like where did it split? What caused the split? I mean, what truly caused the split, and why is there still a split? If that's what we evolved from, was there a singular mutation at one point in time that caused us to turn into humans rather than primates? And then that single mutation bred and continued to mutate until obviously here we are.
Or they came back every once in a while and manipulated the DNA gene.
Right. There's all kinds of concepts.
But when you manipulate one layer, you got to wait so many, thousands of years for it to actually take place.
Yeah.
So many possibilities.
Well, now that I've checked out and I came back,
I know.
You opened the door.
It was my fault. I do own that.
Yep. And I'm going to make sure to get the close-up camera on that when you're sitting here just kind of...
No, I really was like zoned out, man.
She gone.
Yeah. Oh, well. It is what it is. But I want to change it up a little bit.
Okay. What?
So we were talking about, kids who kiss their adult kids or older kids who kiss their parents on the lips. You know what happened? This motherfucker over here.
Yeah. This was unintentional, by the way.
No, yeah. 1,000%.
Completely unintentional.
This is what I mean when I tell everybody. I have the worst timing, and 90% half the time I don't even know I've stuck my foot in my mouth any type of way because I am oblivious. He pulls up, because we're neighbors, and he stops, and we were talking about, the episode that Mike and Kate were on, and about where I talk about that and about kids, whatever. He's like, why didn't you just say it? And I was like, say what? Why didn't you just call me out? You're talking about me. And I said, what? I said, ew, you're nasty. He goes, what do you mean? And I said, I wasn't even talking about you. Bro, it's not always about you, even though you're the favorite. And he was like, oh, well, I just thought the whole time you were talking about me and you just didn't say my name. And I was like, just say my name. And I was like, no.
Nope.
I didn't even know that you did that, but you're gross.
Completely unintentional. And then literally as we ended the podcast recording, Mike and Kate both looked at us and were like, you realize Jeremiah does that?
Yeah.
And we were like, what? Oh, God.
But then almost 2 weeks go by, right?
Yeah.
Because by the time it comes out and everything, and then he's like, why didn't you just say my name? And I'm like, what are you talking about?
I'm driving down the road listening and saying, you can say my name.
Yeah. Like you thought we were calling you out? Nope.
We had no idea, but now that we are, you nasty. He goes, well, I've reevaluated, and that's not exactly what's happening. None of his kids actually kiss him on the mouth anymore.
Except for the 8-year-old.
Yeah.
Used to will.
But yeah, I just thought I'd share that. It's not always about him.
Update to the situation for the non-favorite child.
I didn't even know it wasn't a normal thing when I was raised. And I really thought you guys, I mean, you've been over there enough. I've said, I give my kids kiss and hug.
Don't even think about it.
And they go to bed or go out the door.
Didn't even think about it.
I don't even know that I've ever noticed you kissing your kid. Not that you don't. I'm just saying, like, I don't know that I've ever made it a point to look.
Yeah.
That's fair.
That might be a little weird.
That's fair.
Okay, so anyway, I want to talk about something else.
Hey, just so you're not alone, we're not across the table by ourselves here. Amber's on your side 100%.
It's nasty?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I'll tell.
If she didn't agree with me, I would be questioning her.
I would tell one of the kids, go give her a hug. Go in for the kiss. She's like, stop it.
She gets weirded out.
That's nasty.
Yeah. She feels the same way when they're a certain age.
Yeah, like little.
Yeah.
I can see that. But yeah, once you get past probably 4, 5 maybe for the most part.
I think, yeah.
I mean, then it kind of moves into the okay, a little peck on the cheek or whatever. All right, fine.
Right.
And then you get to the 7, 8, 9, and it's all right, we've grown up enough. That's enough.
This is weird.
Yeah, we can pump the brakes on this now.
You guys are weird. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
I accept you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry our parents didn't love us. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Jesus. My parent loves you, but not me. I hope you choke. Not really. I'm just
choke on your Red Bull.
I'm just kidding. 100%. Anyway, I want to talk about something else.
Okay. Lock it up.
So,
Lock it up.
Over a year ago, I started the ball rolling. I got to tell you what I did. Started the ball rolling. I've decided on my own, which we all know how well this always goes when I decide to plan something, that I was going to surprise Jason for our 10-year wedding anniversary for a trip. Okay, I can't talk.
With a trip
to Vegas. And while in Vegas, since it was both our second marriages, we just got married at the courthouse, I wanted to get remarried by Elvis.
Oh.
And wear a really sparkly dress with Converse, because that's who I am. And invite a couple of our friends. Right? So I said something the other day about, I think Jason brought it up about Vegas. And I was like, because I had made a couple mentions about going to see if he'd even be interested, right? And everybody else is known. And the other day he was like, when we go to Vegas by ourselves, it'll be like a retreat by ourselves for our anniversary. And I was like, oh, fuck. I got to tell him. I can't just surprise him with friends.
Show up to Vegas.
And I'm like...
But you're planning this 2 years ahead of time, so it's kind of hard to...
Well, now it's only a year.
Now it's only a year.
Right.
Yeah.
So, last night, I just said it and told him all about it. And Jeremiah goes, you've made it a whole year. Why now? And I was like, did you just see his face when I told him the plan? I said, did you want to see that face when we were all in Vegas and you guys show up and that's not what y'all expected? And he goes, no, that's fair. Yeah. We would have been upset. And I was like, exactly.
It definitely was a what
he
the
doesn't
fuck
like
face.
surprise.
Yeah. No, it was like, a what?
He doesn't like surprises, and
No. I do like surprises, certain types of surprises.
You don't like those types of surprises.
Correct.
So, and with it being 8 people total, right?
Yeah. 6 other people.
6 other
3
people.
other couples.
Yeah.
other than
I
us,
figured
yeah.
it had gotten out of hand at this point, and it was no longer something I can manage with these yahoos.
Well, and something else I'm going to say is, Tom, bro, you knew about this, and you didn't say shit to me.
So
we've been besties since we were like 7 years old.
So I reached out to Tom, and I said,
fucking jackass.
Tommy T-Rex, I said, I need you to remarry Jason and I in Vegas. I'm like, here's my thought, yada, yada, yada. This motherfucker messages me back and was like, it's like $150 to get ordained. I'm not paying that. And I replied with, motherfucker, we're married. You don't have to be ordained. And he was like, oh, okay. And I was like, never mind. You know what? We're just going to get Elvis to do it in a pink Cadillac in the drive-thru. Yeah. And he was like, okay.
Hell yeah.
So
I'm like, you don't need to be ordained. We're married. It was a horse of a different color there.
I wouldn't have thought about that either, though. I went down the same path.
you're like, oh, yeah, I have to get ordained.
Yep,
No.
I would have.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
So now it's out in the open. He knows about it. The jig is up. I'm sorry. I can't keep my mouth shut. But if you had seen his face when I told him the plan Jeremiah did, he can reenact it for you all one day.
Yeah, so Jeremiah, Amber, Mike, Kate, Tom, and Paige. Mm-hmm. All knew.
Now, I don't know if
yes, sir.
The women knew. Kate knew for sure.
Yeah. Did Amber know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I would assume Paige would know because Tom would tell her. I think he would.
Tom's an amazing communicator about things that are not important. I doubt she doesn't even know until now. Well, she may not listen. I don't know.
Yeah.
Tom, you need to tell your lady, your significant other.
The wifey.
Yeah.
I think Amber might even ask me, is he going to be okay with that? Like, surprise?
She even knew.
Yeah. Because
no.
she's the non-surprised person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Jason's the planner. And that's why when he started talking about it recently, about next year, I was like...
He had this set in his mind.
Yeah, and I was like, that's not what's happening. What I have in my mind is this is the Hangover Hillbilly Style 3.0. And I am Alan. And it's not going to go the way he thinks it's going to go. And I don't want him to be disappointed.
But did you die?
Well, that's the goal not to, I guess.
Yeah, right.
And I didn't think it through until like just a few minutes ago when you were talking about it. Seeing that face last night, if we'd have rolled up, like all met up.
At the airport or something.
Like you're like, hey, let's go out and whatever you had planned. And then all of a sudden we're all meeting in the same lobby in the same hotel, whatever. And, hey, guys.
He would have been like.
You've been like, yeah, we'd all be like.
I don't think I would have been like.
No,
upset.
He would have handled it really well.
It would have been a.
It would have been this.
A what?
It would have been like one of those. We'll talk later in the car.
Yeah.
And I'm like.
No, it wouldn't have. Whatever.
Okay, in my mind, I would 100% be panicking, and that's what would be happening. Am I lying, Jeremiah? No.
But the cool thing is, all the boys get to go do the Ferrari driving experience.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll get to go do that, which will be fun. We each get to hop in a Ferrari and run around a track.
I'm good with that.
And I don't know what the girls are doing because I ain't planning shit.
Laying by the pool, drinking cocktails.
Yeah.
Gambling.
I'm not much of a gambler personally.
No.
No.
Nope.
No. I'm more of a people watcher. I'm here for the people watching.
I might learn how to count cards really well and go play.
Okay.
I might be down with, wasting $50, maybe 100, but you give me some money and I'll just keep going.
Okay.
No.
You play Texas Hold'em?
No.
You don't play Texas Hold'em?
Have you met this man? He has no poker face at all.
I can play some Texas Hold'em.
You probably don't even know what the hell's going on half the time.
So we'll just pool your money. We'll pool your money that you want to spend and my money that I want to spend. And then we'll go to the Texas Hold'em table. I'll play. Okay. And then whatever wins, we split.
He just hustled you, man.
I'm good with that.
Oh, my God.
I would still have a good time.
Do you see what I'm working with, people?
That's friend, faith, and trust.
Do you see what I'm working with? Or do you hear what I'm working with?
But see, if you lose my money, I'm like, I just gamble. It's awesome,
it's fine. Jason did it.
No, because either way, you're gambling.
But if I lose the money myself, God, I knew I shouldn't have done that. That sucked. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But if you hand it off, you're like, yeah, this is going to be great. I'm going to watch this.
You have a better chance than I do. So
yeah, there is that.
And if we don't walk out with anything, it's like, oh, sweet, man.
Yeah.
We're in Vegas. Awesome.
Good times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just light it on fire.
I'm way better with that. I'll be honest with you. I'm not playing anything special. I'm going to a freaking slot machine and hoping that I'm the
He's going to do the penny slots.
You know what I mean?
Like the grandmas over there smoking with their oxygen in.
Yeah.
He's going to hang out with Doris and they're going to become best friends.
Everyone else walks by and says, I've lost $10,000 tonight. They're going to come to me and say, you've been gambling all day. How much you spend? I'm like, I still got $80 left, people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I spent $20 on these panties.
It ain't like Tom with them nickels on nipples. He's rolling with pennies.
I told you we're going to make it hail.
Yeah.
Up in Vegas, the white trash Indiana crowd. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, my God.
It's going to be a whole hot mess.
That went way that way.
It did. I'm sorry. It's all my fault.
I turned the corner and went a couple blocks over.
Yeah, it did. That's my fault. I'm sorry.
So on that note.
Is it over?
We should probably wrap up, yeah.
Oh. Well, guys.
We've kind of hit our time.
Sorry, it got a little weird.
It's been like
there.
10 minutes.
I know, right?
Sorry, it got
That's
a little...
why we keep having you on, because it's like a continuation.
Hold, please.
You can go now.
Sorry, it got a little weird in the middle, guys. We came back around in the end. We got you in the end.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, thanks for... I can't even talk. Jason, go ahead.
Okay. Well, thank you, everyone, for listening, watching, enjoying the sperm snake.
I'm a silly snake.
Yes!
She did it, folks. She did it. But
I'm sure
no.
My arm was in the way and the whole thing, but that's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. She'll buff out. So, but no, thank you everybody for liking, following, sharing, getting engaged with us, our friends and people that have been on. And I know that you've been consistent with like being a listener yourself and watching and whatnot. And that's been huge. That's been awesome and super supportive. We couldn't really be more successful with it. With that. Yeah. Yeah.
Just thought you were going to wrap it up, man.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, I just zoned out real bad, and then he's like...
Worse than when I was talking.
I know. What's that? What the hell has happened today?
I actually have cleaned all day, and I'm tired.
Oh, so you're just dropping out now?
Yeah.
Okay. Folks, we'll make it short and sweet. We're just going to move along so she can go take a fucking nap. Okay?
Did you take a nap? No. You need one? Yes.
So.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and we out. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. Make sure to share and like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/The Adventures of E and on YouTube at www.youtube.com/@Adventures of E. See you next time.